Hey everyone, welcome to another video. Let's talk about tax-free shopping. You're going on holiday, you've got a holiday planned this year, and there is this one particular bag or item you've got your heart set on. You think, I think I can make a saving if I buy it in that country versus my own, and I can do it via a tax refund as well. You might even find that the currency in that country is performing really well against yours and that you get a lot more of their currency for your money. Which can be another way that you make a saving in addition to tax. But also in some countries, the price of an item can be less than in yours. So that's another way. There are almost like 3 ways that you can make a saving here. But tax-free shopping, is it worth it? How does it work? How does it work in the UK? What kind of saving can you look to make? And is it worth it? So the first thing to say is I'm not a tax expert. The information I'm going to share with you I've gathered from the internet, mainly from the government website, the UK government website. If you are abroad, I would recommend that you do your own research on this. Never just jump in and go and buy something because you're in like that romantic moment where you're in, like, let's say you've gone to Paris and you're looking at this bag and you're in love with it, and in that moment you go ahead and buy it, not checking how much it actually is going to truly work out by the time you've paid currency conversions, bank charges, then you've been charged duty when you bring it back into your own country. Make sure that you've got all of that in mind before you go and do it, because sometimes it's actually cheaper to buy it at home. And I've had a lot of you write to me about this, so I'm going to read out some of your comments in this, because some of you it's worked for, others it hasn't, and a lot of you have made some really good points about the benefits of buying abroad. So the first thing is, in the UK, and I will link to the UK government website page that I got this information from for any of you travelling if you want more information. The first thing is, in the UK we all have a personal allowance of £390. That means that we can go away and we can buy, either for ourselves or as gifts for others, items up to the value of £390. Again, I've got this off the government website, okay, which I will link to below. If you exceed £390, you need to declare those goods and you will be charged duty on them. Depending on, some of you have told me that you've come across some very kind tax people at the airport who have waived tax for you. But I know for a lot of you, you get charged that. For any of you thinking of travelling here this year or next, annoyingly, the government removed tax-free shopping as of January 2021 when we left the EU. So unfortunately, you guys can't do a tax refund if you travel over here, which is a shame. And slightly off topic, I've spoken to a couple of people that work at Harrods actually, and they've said that it's had a really big detrimental effect on their business from the point of view of a slight decrease in people coming over here who are into shopping and fashion. They'd rather go to Paris, but also a lot of people coming over here who will browse, look, try on, but won't buy. They will wait until they go somewhere else where they can claim back that tax. And apparently they see that a lot in people that travel on the Eurostar between London and Paris. People will wait until they get to Paris before buying so they can get their tax back, which I guess makes sense. So that's annoying, but there we go. So that's, in a nutshell, that's how tax in the UK works when it comes to declaring goods. How do you get a tax refund? There is a program, again, I can only speak about the EU because I've never bought abroad outside of the EU, but there is a program called Global Blue. You don't need to do anything with that. You don't need to sign up anywhere. You literally go into a shop, you make a purchase. If you go into Louis Vuitton, let's say, and you get to the checkout, you paid for your item, you ask the cashier to apply for a tax refund for you. You don't get the tax taken off your bill at the checkout. You get your tax refunded to you when you get to the airport before you depart. The cashier will fill out the form. You need to have your passport with you, so make sure that when you go shopping abroad, you always have your passport with you. They will fill in the form with your passport details. They normally, from memory, put a stamp on the form. You then take that form with you to your departing airport. You need to go to customs at the departing airport with the goods that you've bought, with the receipts for the goods that you've bought. They will check those items and stamp your tax-free form if everything is okay. You then need to find, from there, you then need to find the tax-free claim back office, which will be at the airport somewhere. Give them the form that has been stamped by customs. They will then either give you in cash or refund you on a card the amount of tax that you're owed. This, I will confirm, is a pest to do. I did it once and I nearly missed my flight because the process was long, drawn out, but also the tax office and the customs people, they weren't signposted very well in the airport. And I remember myself and my friend, we were just like panicking, like going from A to B, trying to find where the tax people were, and then there was a queue in the tax office. Oh, it was crazy. And that was another reason why I really got put off buying abroad. Of course, if I look at an item and it really is a lot cheaper abroad, then I'm going to think about it a few times. But so far, whenever I've been away in the EU, or even when I went to Singapore, it's always been cheaper in the UK. Once I've added everything up, once I've added up all of the costs and the cost of tax and bringing it back in, it's always been cheaper in the UK. So some of the things that you guys have sent to me, because I asked for your opinion on this, and a lot of you have raised some really good points. A lot of you have raised points to do with the fact that aside any saving you can make, sometimes when you go away, you are open to more choice. You are open to more items that you can't get at home. Let's say a particular bag and you've gone to Paris and it's in a colour that you've never seen in your home country. That can actually be a real benefit to buying abroad, that you might think, I don't care if it's going to cost me a bit extra because I can't get that at home and I love it. But this is a great comment from Amy, and Amy has said, it's worth it for us Australians. Luxury items are already cheaper in Europe and then we get the VAT back. We save about 15 to 20% and we also have access to more. Australia gets a pitiful amount of anything. So that's a really good point there. In addition to your tax saving, you also have access to a greater amount of goods. But further to that, and this is another thing to consider, you are saying that due to the currency and the price of things over here compared to Australia, it's cheaper again. So you're saving 3 times. You're saving on currency, you're saving on the price of the item, and you're saving on the tax refund. Another comment which I saw and I absolutely love, and this to me epitomizes what going on holiday is all about if you're into this kind of stuff. This is from My Closet Travels, and you have said, I no longer focus on the potential savings. It's more a bonus when that happens. But I'd rather look at the opportunity to purchase an item I cannot purchase in my own home country. Basically, I consider global tax-free shopping as a potential access to more inventory and not as a significant savings tool. So again, they're talking about how buying abroad can mean that you have access to things that you can't get at home. Kaylee, I love you, you always write in the comments. Kaylee has also said, hi Sophie, it depends on what the item is and how much the longing for it is and if it's worth it. And you go on to say that's why you're very picky. Love this comment as well. This is from Piffle Toy, who said, hi Sophie, I found it worth it and I've saved about $100 to $400 each trip. As a tangent, it's always best to get the refund at the store itself, like Harrods, Selfridges and Bista's VAT office refund centre. Oh my god, I didn't know about this. I did one refund at customs and I never received the £20 owed to me. This is what I found. This is why, guys, you need to do a lot of research on this, because I might be talking incorrect information when it comes to how you get the VAT back. Whenever I've done it, I haven't been able to do it in the boutique. I've had to do it at the airport. But check again, because you have said you were able to do it at Harrods, Selfridges and at Bicester Village. They had a tax office there. In fact, you're right, I think I've seen it at Harrods. Frustratingly though, tax in the UK, you can't claim it back anymore, so that's, I don't think that's can be done. But yeah, that's interesting, so make sure you do your own research. Another great point here from Karine, who has said that you went to Italy last December and were able to make some tax-free purchases at the outlets in Milan and Florence. You ended up saving €400 plus the outlet discount. And you've gone on to say that the process was really simple. So again, my experience might not be relevant to yours. I found claiming back the tax to be really fiddly and really time consuming. But some of you might be watching this going, Sophie, there's an easier way of doing this. And if you know, please write that below, because I want all of you to know the true information, including myself. I want to know truly how this works. And as I say, I'm not a tax expert. I'm only talking from my experience. And then I'm going to read out one more before doing a summary on what I think. And this is from 13SM, and you have said, as someone who is looking to travel soon, this subject really intrigues me, and I don't understand why the need to report your spending elsewhere and get taxed somewhere coming back. It seems like it wouldn't be worth it for a bag, even in the US. Say, for example, purchasing from Hawaii and then going back to California, unless the price is really significant. And it's a good point, you know, it makes you think, is there, I mean, I guess is there much of a point of purchasing abroad? So is it worth it? Here's my thoughts. I think, first of all, when you buy abroad, there are various things you need to consider when you ask the question in your mind about whether you're actually going to make a saving or not. First of all, currency conversion. If your currency is trending poorly against the currency of a place that you're going to, an item that might be cheaper in that country than in yours might end up making you break even, or might even end up costing you a bit extra by the time you've done the currency conversion. Secondly, if you pay by card, there is also bank fees that you will pay on top of it, and it's important to know how much those fees might end up being. However, there is potential to have a greater choice when you go away. The other thing, and this is kind of whimsical, but when you go away and you purchase something like a big purchase, and one of you mentioned this as well, when you go away and you make that purchase, it's almost a memento of that trip, that holiday that you took. And that in itself, money can't buy that. You know, I think when you go away and you make a purchase and you look back on that purchase and it reminds you of that trip, money can't buy that. And some of you might, that might not be important to you, but I know that for some of you it is. For me, I can live without it. For me, I went to Paris in the summer and I was looking at a Fendigraphy bag, but when I looked at it in the shop, looked at how much it was, I found out that it was actually more expensive than back at home in the UK, and that was before currency conversions, etc. So make sure that you do your due diligence and check. Some brands make, like Chanel try and have like a harmony globally where their prices are the same in every country. But for other brands, that's not the case, and you can see fluctuations. So just do your maths, don't rush in, use your phone when you're in the shop, go and check how much it is in your home country before you go ahead and purchase. And when you get to the airport, always, always, always declare what you've got. I hope that you've enjoyed watching this, and I hope that it's been interesting. For any of you traveling this year, I hope you have the nicest trip, and that you do and buy everything you desire. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.